Okay, now that we've kind of all got to know each other and we know the plan for the day, and we're going to jump into our first exercise here, okay? This exercise should only take about 5 minutes. Once I've finished explaining it, I'm going to ask the timekeeper to set the time for 5 minutes. There is an inbuilt timer here in Miro, which if you can just click on up here, you can kind of adjust that and click play so that we can all follow it. If your Miro account doesn't have that, sometimes it's a feature that requires an upgrade. And so if your Miro account doesn't have that, feel free to just use the timer on your phone or online somewhere and use that as a timer. But just try to keep this to 5 minutes. So this exercise is called a long-term goal. And so what we want to do here is we want to think about if everything goes well and we're being optimistic, and where do we see this project being in 12 months, in 18 months, or in 2 years' time? So we're looking to try to get basically a cohesive statement on what we want to achieve with this project. So to start off, people can see there we have some of these green sticky notes here. So feel free to kind of drag these sticky notes around the place a little bit if you want to kind of take one or two of these for yourself to put down a couple of thoughts. And these can be fairly loose thoughts. If you want to edit a sticky, now we do have a kind of a guide to Miro, but just as a quick recap, you just double click in here and you'll see that your text box is now open and you can start typing. If you want more stickies and you need more, you can always create them here on the left panel by clicking the sticky note and clicking here, and you'll see this little kind of sticky icon, and you can just drop it wherever you want and change colors and whatever there. So it's fairly straightforward. An even quicker way of doing that is just by copying and paste. So traditional keyboard shortcuts to copy and paste something. Or if you want to be really fast, you can use duplicate, which on a Mac, which is what I'm using, is Command D. So you just hit Command D and it produces another one. It's probably Control D on Windows machine. So yeah, we're just going to be jotting down some of these goals where we think the project would be in the next 12 to 18 months. So take a couple of minutes to do that. Once we have these stickies laid out and we have a number of them filled in of kind of different potential goals, what we want to do is try to amalgamate them into one sort of short, cohesive, long-term goal statement, and that will go here. Try not to be too shy with this. You are working as a team, but if people are feeling a bit reluctant about kind of writing down this long-term goal, just ask somebody to take a first pass at this. It doesn't have to be perfect on the first time, and we can always change this later on. But just to ask someone to write something down that's an attempt to kind of blend the different requirements from these green stickies into one statement. And so, just to give you an example of what that output could look like, this is our fictional product design sprint that will be kind of running in conjunction with your own team's product design sprint. Again, the idea of this is just to show you the type of output that you can expect to see from each exercise here. So again, we have this documented, but to give you a brief synopsis of kind of this dummy sprint that we're running alongside, it's basically a travel app. The idea behind it is that when you're scrolling through social media or Instagram or wherever you might be online and you see a photo of a place that you're like, God, I really want to visit that. I'd love to see that someday. And this is basically just the idea that you create an app that could essentially store those things into sort of a bucket list. So the app is called Travel Bucket, and it's a bucket list of travel locations, basically an easy way to save them. And then the idea is that the app will ping you with the notification if you're close to one of your bucket list items. So if you're walking around a new city and you would save something cool, it might be a restaurant or it might be a museum or it might be, a viewpoint, and you're actually walking relatively close by it. You might have saved it a couple of years ago and forgotten about it. This would be a great way for you to remember those places and to find them. So with that in mind, some of the objectives of that app might be that we want to create an app that users love, and we want to have 1 million plus downloads, to have it available in iOS and Android form. And we want to partner with travel companies who could potentially act as kind of revenue model for us. And we want to help our users to see the world. We'd be profitable via referrals and not ads. It would become a kind of a full travel app down the line, maybe in 2 years' time or more. And our company will become more than an app with a list of places. So that might be where we start out, but we're hoping to develop this into something bigger. And so to kind of try to tie that together, our statement might be to create a sustainable travel company that enables users to visit the places of their dreams. And what we might do with this, again, this might be our first pass at a statement. So someone might come up with this, and we ask around the room, and someone else might say, this is close, but maybe it's not exactly what we want. So maybe it's to create a sustainable travel company that enables users to discover, remember, and visit the places of their dreams. So that's maybe a little bit more tying into seeing something online and being reminded when you're close by to that thing, you thought this would be really cool to visit. So you're pretty close by, so it's worth stopping into it. So that might be our long-term goal section of this. So yeah, feel free to complete this exercise now. Set 5 minutes on the timer, and when you're done, play the next video.